Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Tonight, I want to talk to you just kind of random. I'm not going to really discuss anything major. I'm not really going to get into anything real deep. But I am going to talk about this last year that has come and gone. Well, it's not really totally finished because we have December to go through, but it's close enough to where we can look back on the year. We can think about how our lives have been and what we have done, how we've made ourselves more positive, and also maybe helped someone around us become more positive. The city council meeting, the city council in Seattle, the elections have come and gone, and we've got a new council and we've got some older council that's managed to stay on, like Kashima Sawant. She's still there. She beat out Jeff Bezos and his ilk, trying to secure the city council so they could get people in there that are more business friendly, that'll look a little more kindly on Amazon doing whatever it wants with very little consequences. But the last year has come and gone. Thanksgiving has been, and it's been over. People have eaten all the turkey they could handle and stuffed themselves till they were blue in the face and hopefully walked away with another notch on their belt. Me, I look back on this last year, and although not a lot of major things have happened, I think that enough has happened to where I can look back and say, I've definitely moved a little bit forward. I'm going to keep an eye on the City Council of Seattle. I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on a day-to-day basis. The City Council website, they post things from time to time to let us know what they're going to be doing. I'm going to be writing letters to the city council to keep them in check. Some of the city council are gone. They were pretty frustrated with me because they think I'm just a pain in their neck. But I'm kind of wondering in the 2020, what Seattle, what do you want? What do you want for yourself that you didn't have in 2019? And this could go for any city in the country, any city in America, any country in the world for that matter. What do you want for yourself that you have not done in 2019 that you think can positively affect you and the people around you to make your place a better place for future freedoms and future endeavors that you may jump into? Do you want to just stay where you're at, or do you want to grow a little bit? Do you want to be where you're at or inch a little bit further? Move forward, move forward. Nobody wants to go back. Nobody wants to have a setback in their life. I was talking to somebody today. We were discussing the Depression back in, I believe it was the 20s. We had the Great Depression. And the Great Depression wouldn't have been so great if people had just kept their level heads. If people had just kept their heads and had not tried to take their money out of the bank. And the ones that had cash, they tried to take it into the bank to get gold for it. At that time, you could take your money into the bank. They'd have to give you the equivalent of gold. Like if you had $10, they'd have to give you $10 in gold. So if the Great Depression, if people had just left their money in the bank, the Great Depression might have lasted about a week. The stock market would have rebounded. Everything would have been fine. That's the way it is with America, both local and national, both the townships and the cities, the state and the federal. We have to be patient, but we are not supposed to just sit around on our fat duff doing nothing either. we have to get up off the ground, get up off our chairs, stand up on our own 2 feet, and we have to move forward. There's a song that David Lee Roth came out with back in, I want to say, late 80s, early 90s. And it was from an album called called Skyscraper. The song's called Stand Up. And the lyric, basically, the chorus says, stand up, stand up. The more you do it, the less you fall down. Stand up, stand up. The more you do it, the less you fall down. And a lot of people can learn a lot from that, because that is basically standing up for yourself and standing up for what's right. Not just being a conformist, not just doing the basic stuff just to get by. Like the Seattle City Council, for one thing, back when I worked at the Downtown Emergency Service Center, which was down right off of Pioneer Square, the City Council had, at that time, they could have basically stopped the homeless problem, but they didn't, because the homeless were being taken care of by the Salvation Army, the Union Gospel Mission, Downtown Emergency Service Center, where I worked at part-time. You could stay there. It had a shelter. But for some odd reason, the City Council feels like it's not their job to stop the homeless problem, because people like the Salvation Army need to stay in business. The Union Gospel Mission needs to stay in business. So instead of clearing up the city where there's no homeless, of course you're always going to have homeless. You can't clear it up 100% where nobody's homeless, because every day somebody loses their apartment and they're out on the street. So technically, they are homeless. They have not become homeless yet, but they are homeless. So the city could have made the homeless a manageable problem. They could have, at that time, when I was working for the Downtown Emergency Service Center, which was back in the 90s, the City Council could have made it more manageable, but instead they did not do that. What did the City Council do? They swept it under the rug and left it for the next City Council. Well, now it's out of control, where you have people sleeping in tents because the shelters are overfull. You got people sleeping in tents that have to be moved every 60 days, I think it is, 60 or 90 days, where they have to pack up and go to another spot. The spot has to agree to let them be there. One time it's a church, another time it's a business. I've heard the City Council talk about the Sam's Clubs that are available, 3 of them. Now, I had talked about this prior, and I had talked about taking some buildings that Boeing owns that are no longer used for anything, they're just sitting there, and revamping those into a shelter, a homeless, workable shelter to put the homeless in. But the Sam's Club seem much better because they're well equipped. They have a place where food can be created. They have a small kitchen. They have a pizza oven, and they have other things where they can make hot dogs and whatever. It could be revamped and made into a kitchen to feed the homeless that are in there. It's big enough to where you can box places off to put housing. You can put cots in there. You can have counselors that are working to get their doctorates in college. They can be volunteering their time. That would be great, but this is all just talk. And again, I'm talking about the city of Seattle standing up for itself. The other cities in the United States standing up for themselves, other countries standing up for themselves, the citizens standing up and saying, we're not going to take it anymore, things have got to be better, things have to be different. Well, going into a new year, we shall see just how different and how better it's going to be, or are we doomed to repeat last year? I pray not. I pray that we turn the tide and we stave off the wolves and we stand our ground and make ourselves better for the year coming. If you like my video, put a comment below to let me know that you liked it. If you have an idea that can help this video, like something I hadn't talked about, something maybe you're thankful for that's happened, something that you can see happening in the year 2020, maybe what you would like to see Seattle be in the next year. Or whatever city you're from, whatever town you're from, state you're from, whatever country you may be from. If you're not from America and you're watching this video, how would you like the area? Maybe you like the way you are. Some people, they like communism where they're from. They've learned how to have a very good life living under that because they know what to do, they know how to make the most of it, and they have a very comfortable life under that. Some people don't like that and they want something better. Let me know in a comment below what you plan on doing for the year coming and what you want to see your area turn into. What you expect out of your city to help you and the ones around you. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Also, if you want to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. I can't do this without you. And all of my subscribers, all 20-some subscribers, I don't keep track of all of my subscribers, but just let me know, or just let me say this. To all of my subscribers out there, you all matter to me. You are important to me. You may not think a whole lot about my videos, and you may have just hit the subscribe button just for the heck of it because you kind of liked the video I did and you don't know nothing about it. Regardless of why you subscribe, hopefully I'm doing something that you get some enjoyment and you get some education out of. Yes, my videos are mostly ranty and they're mostly just talk and talk and talk. But hopefully you can look at one of my videos and you can say, hey, I enjoyed that. If you think I can do a much better video, please put a comment below to let me know what it is I can do and maybe how I can do my videos better. Maybe I'm not doing them right. Maybe that's the problem. Well, regardless of that, whatever I'm doing, I hope you enjoy it. May you be blessed into the new year that's coming up. May you have a pleasant Christmas, and may you have wealth and well-being and health in your family going into the new year. And if you're not with your family, you don't have any family, your family's passed away and you're all by your lonesome, I just want you to know I'm right there with you. I'm like Motel 6. My light's always on for you. If you ain't feeling good, drop me a note and I'll talk to you. Anyway, going into the new year, I'm hoping that everything gets better for everybody involved. This has been All Things Considered. Have a good night, Seattle, America, and all points beyond.